Hello, and welcome to another episode of Andrew's Thoughts On. Today, I am wondering about why Google can't find movies for me. I think they should have a Google movie searching app, because for the movie apps that they have nowadays, really, there aren't that many that are really popular. The only one that I really know is IMDb, or IMBD. DB, probably. And that's a site where you get all the news on the latest movies that are coming out, and all the bios on all the movies that are previous, and that have already come out, and all their actors, and their synopsis, and the rating for it. But it's not a search engine for movies. They should make one of these. And I will give you my exact reason why. Because of people that are looking for movies. Frequently, I look on Ask.com for people that are looking for movies. Because I am looking for movies. And I found some pretty stupid people that can't figure out what very famous movies are. I'll tell you the story. So last night, I was watching a movie. Actually, better yet, I was planning on watching movies. I did a movie marathon last night, and this box art for this movie, The Rig, came up. And what it is there's an oil rig, and beneath it there's a giant, worm mouth about to eat it. And I was also watching Dune, as you can see up there. You can't see, but the box is up there. I'm watching Dune. And it has huge-ass sand monsters, worms. And I thought to myself, hey, I remember a trailer I once saw about people that went into a cave and they found giant worms that ate them in the cave. So I went on a hunt. Now, I've been on one of these movie hunts before, and I've been successful. I couldn't figure out what The Lady in the Water was. Haven't seen that yet, but I'm planning on it, even though it sucks, I heard. And Dark Waters, which was a horror movie that I've been waiting to see for 6 years. I found it. But this one, oh no, it's impossible to find. I don't know what it's called. I have no clue whatsoever. The one thing I do know is that people on Ask.com are fucking retards. If you use Ask.com, I'm not trying to say you're a retard. I'm just trying to say some people are. If you don't know the movie Tremors, maybe that's just me. But if you know the basic synopsis of the movie, there was people asking hey, what's the movie with giant worms starring Kevin Bacon? There's only one. It's Tremors, of course. For people that have never even heard of it, ever, then yeah, I guess. But people that have already, seen the movie and they're looking for it, then it's a very popular movie. It's on Netflix and probably everywhere posted on the internet because it's a very famous movie back in the day. Great movie. I loved it. Except the sequels. The sequels sucked. But that's besides the point. But I couldn't, for the life of me, find this movie. I will tell you how deep inside I looked for this. I looked through a list of every single horror movie that had a monster in it. And a longer list that I looked through the entire thing of is every single movie made from 2000 to 2010 alphabetically to try and find this movie. Now, I will admit I didn't look at every single one of the movies. No, I'm not fucking retarded. I'm not going to spend so much time on that shit. But I looked down the list to see if any names would, pop up. Anything that had anything to do with killer worms. Nothing. So I gave up. But it would be such a good idea to have a movie database where you just search. Search plot. By plot. You can type in a dude goes and buys a casino and then he totally, like, owns a casino, and then he gets it stolen away from his competitors and stuff. I don't know, I just made that shit up. But something like that. Or you could search actors, and you could find out all the movies they've been in. So if you saw a movie with a certain actor, you could be like, hey, what was that movie with Shaquille O'Neal in it? And he was tied up with Dr. Phil. Well, Shaquille O'Neal, what movies has he been in? Really shitty ones, and Scary Movie 4. Still kind of shitty. And you'd be like, oh, that was it. It shows the screenshot right here of the scene he was in. Wow. Thank you, moviesearch.com. Ding. Not an actual website. But it would really help. And not just me. I'm pretty sure there's other people that are looking for movies. As I told my retarded tale about ask.com. But it's strange. Now me, I'm a huge movie fan. As you probably well know, since I do a lot of movie reviews on my channel. But this is not going to be just about searching for movies. I'm going to start doing a series of segments, because I can't just do one, of my movie ideas. Or not movie ideas, but my thoughts on movies. Now, part 2 of this video is going to be dedicated to, I guess it could be called a classic now, since they've fucked over the whole franchise afterwards. Paranormal Activity. Now, before you leave the video, or you want to hear me rant about how bad it is, let me tell you. I did not see the first one. I saw the second and third, so I'm basing my opinions on the whole series off of these two. 2 and 3. I do not find them such bad movies. I admit, they are retarded. But you have to give them credit. First of all, they were the first of their kind, and they're only bad now because they've been done so many times. They've been done over. It's like the zombie movie franchise. They've done it 1,000 times. What's new? Literally nothing. So even though you might be excited for World War Z, it's nothing new. It's the same. It's been done 1,000,000 times. World gets taken over by zombies. The only different is Brad Pitt's in it this time. Anyway, Paranormal Activity is a good movie, and wait, don't touch that dial. It's a good movie because it focuses on the atmosphere. I don't even know what this signal is, but it focuses on the atmosphere and not jump scares. Yes, near the end they have jump scares. Or sometimes, like, near the endish middle part. But they don't focus on jump scares like a lot of horror movies do nowadays. In Paranormal Activity, it doesn't start off like other horror movies. Other horror movies, you've seen them. They start off, some guys just like, man, dude, we need to smoke some blunts, man. And then they're just like, hey, man, fucking, who's that dude walking towards us? And they die. And then, like, it spoils the whole movie. You're just like, oh, so just about killing? Okay. But no, Paranormal Activity starts off in the house, normal. And if you actually remember the first Paranormal Activity trailers, they didn't show anything of the movie at all. All they showed was the reactions of the people in the audience that were watching for the preview screening. That's it. And sometimes they showed the clip of the very ending where the girl gets slammed against the camera. But that's about it. That was a smart marketing tactic. Because people wanted to see Paranormal Activity. They said, what could it be about? Probably about ghosts. But what? What? The only scene they showed was the very last scene. The one with the ghosts that ripped the guy out of his bed and dragged him off and threw the girl against the camera. That's pretty much all they showed. And people were fucking hooked. They said, "Ugh!" And they fucking flew to the theaters. I do not remember this because I wasn't interested in it at the time. But, sorry, I pulled an all-nighter, but that's beside the point. These movies are so atmospheric and they pile up the suspense. It's basically like The Shining. And I know, movie fans, you might not want me to compare Paranormal Activity to a masterpiece such as The Shining. But hear me out. The Shining builds up on the scare level. It shows normal family life, a little bit of strange talk from the child, really strange talk with the black guy talking about The Shining, and then the craziness of Jack Nicholson just rises up each level until he's at the fucking top and he's on a murderous rampage that scares the shit out of people. I know, looking at it now, you're just like, who cares? Back then, literally, people were scared shitless. I actually talked to my teacher, my film studies teacher, who was there on the night of the premiere, and she was afraid to go home because she thought that somebody would be there to kill her with an axe. That's the effect that it has on people. But kind of like what Paranormal Activity and I guess The Conjuring has done, because everyone's talking about The Conjuring now. Probably not even based on a true story. Apparently, the actual house is somewhere in Rhode Island, so I'm totally going to go there sometime. I would love to. If you want to see me go there, click that like button, and I'll totally go there when I have the money. Anyway, but the Paranormal Activity does the same thing that The Shining does. It starts off showing normal family life. Something odd happens. They don't even show what happened. They're just like, hey, we came home and our whole house is wrecked. Burglars. Let's install security cameras. Innocent enough, right? But what you don't know is they're going to start catching stuff. You're just like, oh, burglars. Fucking weirdos. They're just going to get some security cameras. That's cool. And then it just shows normal family life. Nighttime. Shows every single one of the cameras in the house. And then it goes to the special one that catches the ghost activity. But you know what? It's always small at first. Whether it be a door opening slightly, or a door opening wide, or just something like moving, like a glass sliding across a table a little bit, or a baby spinny thing spinning on its own. It's subtle as fuck. They're just like, let's see them build up the suspense, and everyone's just like, I saw that shit. You guys see that? You guys see that? Oh, and then it's over. They're just like, wait, what? What? I mean, there's nothing more? Oh. And then you keep watching the normal family life. But it's pumping you up because you know in your head that it's going to get worse. Because you saw the ending. You saw people get thrown. So you're like, what's going to happen next? What's going to fucking happen next? What, is the glass going to shatter on its own? Is the baby going to get picked up out of its cradle and thrown across the room? Is the door going to open then slam shut? You keep wondering. And then the next night, same gist, except this time something weirder happens, something bigger. Like the door opens all the way. Maybe you see a shadow. The dog starts barking at nothing. And then it's gone. Next day. Family reviewing the tapes. This is weird. But they still don't know that they're being haunted. And they just keep building and building for a couple of days until, bam, they finally hit the fucking key point. Where everyone in the audience is just screaming like, get the fuck on! And they just hit it. Like, I do not like how the way that these movies end. I really don't. I'm pretty sure it was 2 or 3. There was a demonic family that killed the father and the children, which was fucking weird, and I didn't understand that at all. How that tied in at all. And then number 3 was just kind of stupid. But it's just, they do so well at keeping the suspense up until that one final moment, the one scene where they finally figure out that they need to get the fuck out of the house. I think it was a number 3 or 2. The only ones I've seen. Where this girl, the doorbell rings, and the girl, like, walks. Spoiler, by the way. And who cares? And then she walks to the door, opens it, and there's no one there. And the camera pans back to the kitchen while she's walking. And then she's like, wait a... And, like, she stops, and, like, all the fucking tables and chairs and everything is gone. She's like, what the hell? And then everything falls from the fucking ceiling. And it scares the shit out of her, and she's like, Wah! And it's hilarious. I laughed hysterically. That was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen unintentionally in a horror movie. Besides Birdemic. But I'm pretty sure that was intentional. But yeah, and it was awesome. And then they scoot towards the end, and they just have one final big-ass boom before with Paranormal Activity before credits roll. The family dies. The end. That's how it always ends. That's how it always ends, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But it's just amazing. I know the movies are stupid. It's not really a cool concept, and not anything really that interesting. But the atmosphere and the suspense that you get put into is mostly perfect. You know what makes a suspenseful scene? Movie makers? Silence. Dead silence. Like, I'm not even talking about, like, turn the music off, too. I'm not talking about suspenseful action scenes, either. I'm talking about suspenseful moments. Like in horror movies. When they're turning the corner slowly to see if the killer's behind it, and the music's going, it's rising. No. Stop that shit. Silence. Dead silence. The only thing you should be able to hear is her breathing. That builds suspense. Not rising music to tell the audience when they should be surprised or not. No. Don't do that. The suspense will rise if you leave it silent. My main point with this, Mission Impossible 1. I know you might be thinking, that's not a horror movie. How are you going to tie this in? Listen. The part in the movie Mission Impossible 1 where they lower him into the fucking huge-ass white room where they have motion sensors and heat sensors and breath sensors and all kinds of sensors, butt sensors, who knows. But they have all kinds of sensors, and they're lowering him in, and he can't move. He has to be dead silent. He can't make a single noise. He can barely move, and he can't increase his temperature at all. And the whole time, it's showing you tidbits of, like, the guy coming back his way, and he has to finish his mission. And there's lasers on the ground that's gonna like turn on the alarms and have him get killed. But it's dead silent. He's completely silent the whole time. Barely even breathing. For about 4 fucking minutes of just sheer, really slow work being done. And they slip up a few times, cause him to almost lose his cover. And that silence literally will put you on the edge of your seat. If you have not seen Mission Impossible 1, watch it. You will know what scene I'm talking about when you get to it. Literally, I was on the edge of my seat. That's the only time I've ever felt suspense in my life, and it's a great feeling. Like, you know how it feels when you get scared, like a jump scare? Imagine that, except extended for 4 minutes straight. It's suspense, and it's fucking brilliant. So, movie makers, make your movies silent when they're supposed to be suspenseful. Don't put up that rising crescendo or whatever the fuck it's called. Don't do that. It's not suspenseful. It's not scary. It's not going to make anybody lean on the edge of their seats. Silence will. Slow and silent. Because never, if you're looking for a killer in your house and you're, like, about to open a door that you know the killer's behind, I don't know why you'd still open it, but you know something's behind the door and you're going to open it. You're not going to hear... No, you're going to hear dead silence. Just the breathing, your heartbeat. And you get scared. I'm pretty sure if there was music behind you, rising steadily as you open the door, you'd be like, this is fucking stupid. Something's going to pop out. Ugh. But not if there's complete silence. Because you don't know what to expect in the silence. Could be anything. Could be a trick. Could be fucking nothing. I was watching a really shitty movie last night, and they did this, and it worked perfectly. I was watching the Japanese version of The Ring 3, and they had a part where it was a first person, and she was like looking, like she was walking and slowly looking around corners. It was dead silent. All you could hear was her breathing, and I felt so suspenseful. Just looking to see if the monster was there. Little ring girls. She was just like... And you were like in her eyes, so you were basically like seeing what she was seeing. Whatever. But it was so suspenseful, it was perfect. So movie makers, silence, not music. That is the key to suspense. And, well, those are our 3 topics for this week. I hope to catch you on the next episode of Andrew's Thoughts On. And if it's not on a stupid subject, it'll probably be on more movies. So I will keep thinking about movie ideas, and maybe you should ask me what kind of movie ideas or movie kind of subjects you want me to talk about next time. If you want me to review a movie, I'll do it. If you want me to give my thoughts on how the horror movie genre can be fixed, that's going to be a tough one, but if you want me to try, I will. I'll think on it. But like I say, like, favorite, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Check out the new episodes of Happy Gamer. There's one just came out today, me playing Castlevania on the NES. So, if you like video games, check it out. If not, then fine. There's plenty of other videos for you on the internet. Goodbye.